Mr. Toure was saying, apologizing, engaging in damage minimization, he is now saying that military option is no more on the table, that looking for ways to kind of save their faces from the blunder they have messed up, everyone. And it is very sad, very, very sad that our ECOWAS, when something happened in West Africa, those that have been given the privilege, it's not their right, it's our right together for ECOWAS to work. All of us cannot be there at the same time. So some few, of course, have a duty of managing our business together. They have been given our mandate by stealth to do what they can do, and they seems to be working for our opponent in our struggle for survival. Anytime there's a problem, our ECOWAS is always on the side of foreigners, non-ECOWAS citizens' interests. Why? Because there's something wrong with the economic part. And it is sad to have ECOWAS sitting down, whether it's Mr. Tinubu or Tinubu or whatever. He's a Nigerian and he should mind his business in Nigeria. He's been made a chairman. He said, just a chairman. You are not the government. You are nothing. You are a Nigerian. Mind your business in Nigeria. Our ECOWAS will work. Sad when there's a problem anywhere in West Africa, ECOWAS turn blind eye. And when people get up to want to address the problem, that is when ECOWAS want to go and rather fight those. Remember the last video I posted, our gods must be mad. Indeed, our gods are mad. The ECOWAS is always against our interests in West Africa, and that my head cannot go around it. See, there are two things happening now. The French, their European partners, their American partners have been instructed by the government of Niger to pack and leave. ECOWAS has been sitting down. Foreign military bases are all over West Africa. ECOWAS has turned a blind eye. They told them to pack and leave. We, the government of Niger, and the French is saying that they are not going because they don't recognize the government of that land. It's an independent country, for God's sake. Niger is independent, and Niger has a right, unconditional right to self-determination. And the people of Niger have proven they are not going to sit down for French forces to be protecting French interests, American forces to be protecting American interests, which also amount and connected to protecting the head of state, backbone. That will never happen. That will never happen. They should leave. The ECOWAS is on the other side. Right now, it is ECOWAS that's supposed to write a letter, a powerful letter, to the ambassador or whatever he call himself from France to leave immediately. When they are going, they should pack their military and everything and leave immediately. Immediately. We don't want problems. They've been instructed to leave, the government. And it's time we stop calling these people junta. They are not junta. They are now, whether we like it or not, the military government. This is a military government, and this is not the first time we are seeing military government in our life. We have a military government in Niger. And that military government, as long as sitting there, we are not the first. They should go to Cambodia. Everywhere. People have a right to have their own uprising when the condition is not favorable to them, to stand up and have decent people to lead them and actualize their dream. France have to leave. America have to leave. The Germans have to leave. The British have, every one of them. The Chinese have to leave if they have military weapons. In fact, the Russians will be leaving very soon. All of them will have to go. That's number one. Number two, those in Mali that has been instructed to leave, and we are talking about the so-called United Nations forces, they must leave. It's our terrorists are on our land. And we said we would deal with our terrorists. And you are saying you have the right to come to our land. Hey, if they come to your place, you can do it, whatever you want to do with them. It doesn't make sense. United Nations is saying they are not going to leave Mali. Who are they? They were invited by a government that doesn't exist again. There's a new government and they need to leave. This oppression must end. They are up. How can you say, okay, let's look at it this way. We said the French soldiers must leave. The French soldiers packed and left. But the UN soldiers are there. And the head of the UN soldiers is a French national. What are we talking about here? You cannot have any military on our land if we cannot protect ourselves. This is why you said you came to colonize us. Yes, we can't. We are incapable of managing our own affairs. That is why you came to colonize us. That is why you came to form the countries. Thank you. Thank you. I always say thank you to you. That is how you ruled us for a long time. That is how, in doing that, like an abuser, a father abusing his child, you mutilated, you did everything to us. And now we say we are ready. And it's registered at in the UN. That we are independent. There is a date, and that date will refer to you are gone to France, gone to Britain, gone to America, gone to wherever you come from. You only come on our terms. You can never come on your terms anymore, and it's over. And these people are finding it difficult to understand simple instruction. Pack and leave. Pack and leave. Leave with everything you have. We saw how in Burkina Faso these guys went and they were destroying everything that they can carry with them. And we fine, but they left. Let us get something straight. Something straight. By international convention, nobody can go to another land and lawfully claim they have a right to be there. You don't have any right on anyone's land if you are uninvited. And when you are invited by one government and another government has come, whether it's a baby or it's a donkey, it's a government, and that one is recognized. In fact, the first thing these countries who have done the coup have to do is to make sure even the United Nations representative, all of them have to come back home, and new people will be sent. Until we do this, this problem is not coming to an end. And as for Osman Aliu Toure, please, Mr. Toure, let me tell you something. What you are doing is illegal, totally illegal, totally illegal. We in ECOWAS are in a union of willing partners. Yes, willing coalition. We have not gone to the level that we are going to commit ourselves absolutely to the ECOWAS treaty. The ECOWAS treaty is a loose treaty of willing partners. And in that, there is no mandate to use force against any member state. It doesn't exist in time like this where there's a clear government in place. It's only when there is absolute anarchy, even the United Nations can come in. And we don't have a state of anarchy in any of these countries. Guinea, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, there is nothing. If you and your cronies have failed, you should check yourself. You have failed. And let me tell you something. Apartheid South Africa claimed legitimacy, as Israel today is claiming legitimacy in what they are doing between themselves and Palestinians. Apartheid South Africa was a legitimate government, if we put it in quote, at the time. And the apartheid version of government was justified and protected and upheld and defended. It was legitimate. To you, is that legitimate today? You're looking back. Let me again remind you, slave trade, just as colonization, they were all legitimate, they were all lawful, and they were all done by law. Remember, institutionalization of lawful subjugation. That is what we are having, lawful subjugation of institutionalization in West Africa. And please get your facts right. Your salvo, your bully nature, your loss of direction of your purpose, of saying you will use any means necessary to do anything, is unlawful, and you will be judged by posterity. We need to send this message very clear, and our focus now that we know these guys have got some feelings somewhere and that they are not the robots we think they are. Do not let us lose the focus of what we are looking for. The ECOWAS Citizens Democratic Right Advocate has been very, very clear all along. West Africa belongs to the people of West Africa. Every country in West Africa is independent countries as at now. Our commitment to be part of the ECOWAS as at now is conditional. If we want to move to the states where the ECOWAS will be the ECOWAS of the people, and there will be a legitimate mandate to go and uphold our law, whether it's military law or whether it is a democratic law, must come from the people. And I'm happy to hear Usman Toure say, at least he has some little common sense to use the word he's protecting West Africans, he's protecting ECOWAS citizens. Then it is time these ECOWAS citizens must vote directly. If you want to go and protect ECOWAS citizens, your mandate must have some connections to do with ECOWAS citizens. ECOWAS citizens are not the 15 heads of states of West Africa. No. They are given a separate mandate. They don't have that mandate. They don't have it. In a situation like this, to say they want to use force in the name of democracy, when the ECOWAS itself is not democratic. We've explained this thing very well. The institution of ECOWAS is not a democratic one. We have emphasized this, and we heard Sidi Tunis, the president of the ECOWAS Commission. He said it very clearly. We need to do what the Europeans are doing. We need to go back to the people. He is the president of the ECOWAS Parliament, and he said he's a speaker of the ECOWAS, and he said it very clearly, but nobody take him serious, because the paymasters of all the cronies you see down there that make their lies, because the Europeans have put them there, and the Americans and the multinational corporations, they put those things before the leaders, and the leaders go about signing nonsense. The leaders are for each country. We need the law that will give us a sense of direction, where there will be meaningful ECOWAS, not this ECOWAS of criminals. Let me tell you something. It's filthy and it's corrupt, and I'll say it and I'll prove myself. Are you aware, on the video you'll be seeing it, that if the ECOWAS has we have been given the mandate of generating fund so that she will not be relying on foreigners and foreign donations to run the affairs of the ECOWAS. Yes, there is ECOWAS tax. We call it ECOWAS tariff tax. This tax is 0.5%, and you will see the document proving it, that when anything is imported into any of the 15 countries of ECOWAS, 0.5% must be taken as ECOWAS tax, listed and clearly stated on the receipt and document the person is going to be given. So, money is going to ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is supposed to be collecting that money. Think of it. If a car worth £6,000 or £20,000, let's make it £10,000, round figure, and you say 0.5% of the value of that vehicle at the port must be taken as ECOWAS tax, that's not small money. And these cars, because we don't manufacture cars in West Africa, are coming in large quantity. And this is supposed to be the money going to the ECOWAS. ECOWAS Commission, your job is to make sure you are collecting the money. Ask Umar Usman Toure. Is he aware the money is not being collected? If it's collected, has he sat down to say we had 20,000 cars imported this year, and this, out of this 20,000 cars, this is how much? We are just talking about cars. There are so many things. If you import this item, for example, into ECOWAS, you will pay the ECOWAS tax. They find a way of collecting the money from you. If you anything you import into West Africa, the man on the street pay that tax because he's a final consumer. What have they done? These criminals have set up a racketeer, a system. Though the money is supposed to be going into a bank, through the banking system, it's supposed to be registered at ECOWAS Secretariat that one peso, 1p, 1 kobo, 1 cent has come into the ECOWAS account. And ECOWAS will know that the money has come in. And the budget of ECOWAS, employment, building, electricity, and everything will be dealt with on that way. They are telling us, if we are hearing that, the remittance, because that's the remittance. There's no more the old remittance. The remittance has changed. In the past, government collect their own money in each of the countries, and a certain percentage, like they do with the United Nations, is given to the ECOWAS and the African Union. It's no more like that. Now, there's a direct money. As soon as that item is imported, goes to ECOWAS. These people are so hopeless and useless and weak because they don't have the right legitimacy to even go to the source. You are expected to be collecting money. You should have your own people there, sitting down on daily basis. Check it. They are telling us that Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, and some other countries couldn't pay their own share. How? How can they pay? Even if it is 1 cent, it's supposed to go to the ECOWAS because there is separation here. Don't tell us. We had Dr. Adirami, one political director at the level, telling us this on a program. Aki something would you? The man, they are not okay. They are not okay. You can't tell us that. The money is lost somewhere between the country and ECOWAS. ECOWAS cannot go into the country to collect the money because they don't have that mandate. They don't have any mandate. Yes, you are advisors. When you are advisors, you sit down for somebody to give you charity. They can't go. And there are racketeers within the countries that are pocketing that money. Huge amount. Across 15 countries. And they tell us, because they thought we are stupid, they tell us Nigeria is the one founding ECOWAS. How can Nigeria found ECOWAS when there is a system? If Nigeria is a member state of ECOWAS, yes, and she has 170 million people, and therefore the amount of goods that will go into Nigeria that will be subject to ECOWAS tax will be higher than most of the other countries, like Togo. And therefore there will be huge money coming from there. That is why when we share the ECOWAS seats, the parliament, Nigeria got 35 seats. So everything is taken care of. Everything is taken care of. We have a balanced parliament. They are supposed to be our lawmaking body. And here we are with a parliament that has no legitimacy because the people have not voted for them. Every decent parliament in the world must have its own people if it claims to be democratic. It's like you are claiming to be a landlord and you are collecting rent from people and they discover that you are actually not the owner of the house. You are not the landlord. You are a criminal. You are a criminal. You are a fraudster. And this is the problem that is facing us in that ECOWAS. And we must find a solution to this. If we want ECOWAS to be on the people's side, if we want the ECOWAS to fight for us, if we want the ECOWAS to win this battle, we must be ready. We must be ready. This is why we are saying one part of the battle has been won. We have tested them, we have pushed them, we have attacked, and we realize they are human beings and they are not woods and they are not metals. They are not robots and they have sensories. That's why they back off. Yes, And now they are even looking for a way to say now they want to do diplomacy. What we are saying is that ECOWAS is not a foreign mission. Get that out of your head. For us to be, when we say diplomacy in this sense, it means they will be talking rather than fighting. That is what diplomacy means here. It doesn't mean you are working or part of United Nations. We need to, you see, calm down and start changing the narratives. They are not jointers. They are successful coup plotters. Today in Ghana, we talk about Rawlings government. We talk about Nigeria. They talk about Babangida's government. We've talked about Yahya Jammeh's. They are the government you have today. They have the mandate to represent the people of the country. It's a coup and it's a successful one. No bloodshed has been wasted. No life wasted. That is good thing. We all don't want coups, but we need to wake up and do what is right. I want to end on this note by saying that democracy, when it is working, doesn't take forever to start delivering positively, changing lives to the electorates and their fellow nationals, citizens. The democracy we have in ECOWAS is a fake democracy. It is not meant to deliver anything. If the countries can take care of themselves, then we don't need ECOWAS. We don't need it. Why do we form ECOWAS? Why must we have an institution that will be paying tax to? The money we are supposed to spend for ourselves and our family, we go and give it to one institution in Abuja. If there's no reason to do that, the only reason is for this ECOWAS to make democracy work. And democracy we cannot have ECOWAS like a very wicked and selfish mother who want to give her children medicine that she doesn't want to taste. She's scared of taking the same medicine, and she are telling the children, the member countries, by force to drink the medicine. She's a witch. She's only a witch that does that. You cannot say, my children by force will stick with club. Continue to take the medicine you, the mother, you are scared to have a taste of. The ECOWAS is scared of democracy. Our ECOWAS is scared of democratic government. To practice democracy herself. When do you have a democracy that says that the lawmakers of the nation that is democratic are not going to be directly on the basis of universal adult suffrage elected by the electorates, the people themselves? Where is only in ECOWAS that you have that version of dictatorship they call democracy. You go to the various parliament and go and bring bootlickers and then take them. Let the people choose the one they want. And when you talk, they say there's no money. Oh, ECOWAS has no money. How can ECOWAS has money? ECOWAS can never have money to organize simple election. But we have money. When the election for each of the country come, you see how they waste money. There is a reason. And the reason, we are seeing it and we know it. We, the ECOWAS Citizens' Right Advocate, I promise you on my honor, my life, Kofi Ali Abdul-Yakin, until we get to the bottom of this mess in that ECOWAS, we are not going to sleep. We shall never rest. I would rather be in a coffin fighting this battle. I'm sure my ghost will not even rest. It will be down in their soul and heart until we win this battle for justice. There can never be justice if we are not going to be allowed to decide what is good for all of us. And what we have there is not good enough. Once again, you know what I always do, the secret of great nations. It's always beside me. You cannot do without having a copy. Go to visit our website on www.ecdra.org. Just for £9.99 pounds. Get yourself a copy. Just to laugh. Get yourself a copy. Just download it. For some reason, we are busy producing content for you, making sure you are all along with us and we are getting it right, because there are so many voices. So that is the next video we are going to put before you, where we can sense the confusion and we will address it. And this book says a lot as far as the ECOWAS is concerned. We don't have any choice. This democracy is what we have to find a way of getting our problem solved, because we can't use military force. It will not work. We've tried, it failed. Military is not the solution. The solution is in our ability to fight this battle on a civilian platform everywhere. In fact, I don't think there's any military rulers who will say when people say they want to vote for people to go to ECOWAS and they'll have problem with it. The only one who have problem with that are the imperialists and their collaborators. Nobody has a problem for us to exhaust this debate. Join the debate, join the voice, join the noise. The secret of great nations, sovereignty. It's a journey, it's a long one. We are not there yet. Your humble servant, Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, as I always do. Please, 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 in addition to buying our book, also remember, share, like. I love that one. But more importantly, subscribe. To be honest with you, the number is going up, 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 up. We are winning on every front. Because when you are righteous, when your heart is clean, when you are thinking of the future, when you are seeing the reality of the present, when you are standing that we need to win this battle of justice. I believe in justice. I believe in it. Justice means fairness. It means food, clothing, housing, healthcare, and education for everyone, for every citizens of ECOWAS.
Daí, eles eram que